Hey all, how are you doing? Welcome back. If you've seen the video on Quest Pro from a few months ago, you'll know how much I loved them and chose them as my main headset, keeping the Varjo AERO as a backup. The Quest 3 were presented during the Meta Connect on September 27th, and although on paper it's clear that they are not here to compete with the pros, experience has taught me that it's better to try something for oneself, because we can be surprised, like what happened to me when comparing the Quest Pro with the Varjo AERO. Before we begin, I would like to explain the main types of lenses that current virtual reality headsets have, because they are the most crucial component and are responsible for determining the quality of our vision while using them. There are three types of lenses: the Fresnel, the Aspheric, and the Pancake. Let's start with the Fresnel. They are the ones who use VR headsets like Oculus Rift, HTC Vive, Valve Index, Reverse G2, and Quest 2, among others. These lenses have circular grooves on their surface, which allows them to effectively focus light and minimize chromatic aberrations, as well as the screen door effect. The downside is that the sweet spot is reduced to the central part and you can see flashes or God rays. Spherical lenses, like the ones used in Varjo AERO or Pimax Crystal, are bulkier and heavier than Fresnel lenses, but since they are completely transparent, they increase the sweet spot to approximately 80% of the screen, reducing almost completely the reflections that Fresnel lenses have. And we have arrived at the holy grail of virtual reality visor lenses, the Pancake. They are the ones that carry the Pico 4, the Quest 3, and the Quest Pro. These lenses, widely used in the world of photography, are much more compact and lightweight than Fresnel and Aspheric lenses. Just like the latter, they eliminate the glare effect or dazzle of Fresnel lenses and increase the sweet spot to values close to 100% of the screen. After trying out these three types of lenses on different VR glasses, what I've come to realize is that as of today, I wouldn't recommend buying any headset that doesn't have Pancake lenses because the difference compared to the other two is huge. Just like with photography objectives, within each type of VR lens, there are several manufacturers and treatments that make some look better than others, even if they are all of the same type: Fresnel, Aspherical, or Pancake. After explaining the topic of lenses and having tested the Quest 3 for a number of days, I am going to provide you with my perspective on this new Meta viewer, with a focus on its exclusive usage in DCS and a direct comparison to the Quest Pro and the Varjo AERO. About the Pancake lenses on the Quest 3, I have to say they look pretty good, but not as good as the ones on the Quest Pro. The sweet spot takes up almost the entire screen from edge to edge, but without reaching 100% of the Pros. I've also noticed that there are reflections that the Quest Pro doesn't have, so I deduced that the lenses must not have the same anti-reflective treatment that the Pro ones have. However, these Pancake lenses are the best of both worlds. They are marvelous, and as I usually say, anything that doesn't look like that is a step back. Needless to say, the clarity and sharpness of the Quest 3 is better than that of the Varjo AERO and its aspheric lenses. The Quest 3 panels have approximately 300 more pixels on each side than the Quest Pro, which is roughly a little over 24 pixels per degree, compared to the 22 that the Pro has. As you can see, this is not a big difference, and if we set the same resolution on both viewers through the Oculus 3 tool supersampling, I haven't been able to see more details in one than in the other. On the other hand, Varjo has a monstrous native resolution of 35 pixels per degree, but their aspheric lenses don't allow full advantage of those panels as they deserve. Here once again Quest 3 and Quest Pro are ahead of Varjo. Since the Quest 3 are closed, it may seem like the field of view is lower than that of the Quest Pro, but that's not the case. When you put the full mask on the Quest Pro, you can see that the FOV of both visors is very similar and superior to that of the Varjo AERO. When you take off any of the metal glasses and switch to the Varjo AERO, the feeling you have is like looking through the mouth of a mailbox, or as if you had put on diving goggles and on top of them a visor. And here they are again, the Quest 3 and the Pro win once more. The Quest 3's Passthrough is the best I've tried, and I dare say it's the best one currently in the market. Still not at desired level, but improvement compared to Quest Pro is very noticeable. Image is cleaner and noise-free, although in low light situations noise is more noticeable. But the biggest difference is that it compensates for the brightness of the light sources better than the Pro, allowing us to see the phone, work on the computer, or read perfectly. The pass-through feature in DCS is not useful, as activating it pauses the simulation and is unhelpful. So in the end, you end up looking under your glasses if you need to take notes, read, or see your phone. But it's good that they keep moving forward in this direction. Here, no doubt, Quest 3 beats Quest Pro and of course Varjo, lacking any similar features. Just like the Quest Pro, the tracking on the Quest 3 is spectacular, staying steady and always in place. The thing about the tracking basis of the Varjo AERO is a thing of the past, and just like right now I would never buy a visor without Pancake lenses, I would also not buy one that depends on tracking basis to position itself. Here Quest 3 and Quest Pro are tied, while Varjo falls behind. In one word, spectacular, like the one from Quest Pro. The reprojection works wonders, coming in when it's supposed to and maintaining a stable frame rate. Plus, I get the feeling that with the V57 update of META, the performance has been fine-tuned because it seems like I see a lot fewer glitches and drag effects than before. In this section, Question 3 and Question Pro tie again. As for the Varjo, the main problem is that the reprojection is not achieved. About a year ago they made the first attempt, and although in the previous video I said I had hopes of seeing improvements in the future, I'm afraid it's not going to happen. The only visor that has been comfortable for me straight out of the box has been the one from Varjo because of its 3-point fastening system. That, combined with the fan that cools your eyes, makes the Varjo AERO one of the most comfortable visors I have ever tried straight out of the box. The metal glasses have never been entirely comfortable for me during extended sessions without needing to replace the pads in the case of the Quest Pro or the fastening system in the Quest 3. However, the Pro ones are more comfortable for me than the Quest 3 as they come from the factory. Well, after checking that the Quest 3 and the Quest Pro are equal in a bunch of things, now we're going to see why some cost twice as much as the others. There's something about the Quest 3 that I really didn't like, and that's the MURA effect. The MURA effect is different from the grid or screen door effect that we used to see in old or low resolution displays. It's something more subtle, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's like we have a veil with bands or irregular spots on top of the image that accompanies us when we move our head. It is very noticeable in bright environments, and it can be due to variations in pixel quality, lighting, or display screen uniformity, which personally bothers me quite a bit. The Varjo AERO also have a MURA effect, but in the Quest Pro it's almost imperceptible. This, combined with the reflections of the Quest 3 that we mentioned earlier, makes us feel like the lenses are dirty and that we have lost image definition when switching from the Quest Pro to the Quest 3. The correction of the MURA effect is important to ensure a consistent and high-quality visual representation in virtual reality, and from what it seems, META has spared it in the Quest 3, just like the anti-reflective treatment of the lenses. Another point in favor of the Quest Pro is the local dimming. As we mentioned in previous videos, local dimming is a technology that enhances contrast and image quality by adjusting the backlight intensity in different areas of the screen independently. What leads to deeper blacks and brighter whites, thereby significantly enhancing image quality and contrast. The Quest 3 panels lack local dimming, and you can easily notice a significant difference. When comparing the Quest 3 to the Pros, the initial impression is less brightness and contrast, even with the value set to 100%. If we're already going on a night mission, the difference is huge. In my case, just for this, it would already be worth it to buy the Quest Pro. The Varjo panels also support local dimming, but the developers still have not activated this feature after 2 years, and now, yes, I have lost all hope that they will finally do it. Eye tracking is another one of the technologies that justify the price of the Quest Pro over the Quest 3 because it's going to allow us to use the quad views forbaited from This program, as mentioned in previous videos, enables eye tracking in DCS, rendering in real time at higher resolution where your eyes are looking and at lower resolution in the periphery, translating into less workload for the GPU and better performance. Well, then let's recap. The Quest 3 have Pancake lenses like the Quest Pro, but they produce more reflections. Their panels have a bit more resolution, but they don't have local dimming or eye tracking. Before Open Beta 2.9, I couldn't recommend the Quest 3 over the Varjo AERO due to lack of eye tracking. But with the arrival of DLSS, things have changed because now you can crank up the super sampling on the Quest 3 and see it beautifully with spectacular performance. Because dynamic foveated rendering is no longer necessary to handle resolutions of 4000 x 4000 pixels per eye. So right now, my recommendation for VR goggles for DCS is as follows. First the Quest Pro, second the Quest 3, and lastly the Varjo AERO. And speaking of Varjo, here I would like to comment that for the first time I am quite upset with them because I get the feeling that they have forgotten about the viewer. They have simply lowered the price in half, and if I've seen you, I don't remember. They spent a year and a half improving the viewer and implementing what the beta testers were suggesting, but suddenly they have given up, or at least that's what it seems to me. They continue with evident reprojection, red-blue shift, and ghosting in lateral movements. Let's see, I think they must be working on an AERO too, but seeing how well Meta is doing, they're really gonna have to step up their game. In short, if you can get the Quest Pro, don't even think about it. In addition to eye tracking, the Pros don't have the pronounced MURA of the Quest 3 in PCVR. Their glasses produce less glare and the panels support local dimming, not to mention the convenience of flying without a mask. At present, and in my opinion, the Quest Pro are the best option for DCS. If the budget does not cover the Pros, it is advisable to buy the Quest 3 model. Just for the Pancake lenses alone, they are worth it. Any of them well configured looks better than the Quest 2, Reverge 2, and the Varjo AERO. Furthermore, if they offer you some Varjo AERO at the same price as the Quest 3, buy the Quest 3. It's a spectacular viewer and your experience in DCS is going to be much better than with the Varjo. Folks, virtual reality is going through some good times. Just 2 years ago, I was literally blown away by the €2,500 Varjo AERO, and now the Quest has come along and surpassed them in absolutely everything for less than 600. What will we see next year? Well, the truth is, I don't know, but I am really eager. To you guys, I just want to say a huge thank you for being there, for listening, and I hope you liked this video. A hug, and until next time.